What is up, YouTube family? We are back at it one more again. So you've seen the title, so let's get right into it. Dallas fans are the worst fans in sports. I don't even think we really need to elaborate on it, but for some reason, Dallas fans can't get this through their head. And a lot of them that are watching this video, they're going to be a glutton for punishment. If you're a Dallas fan, you're already a glutton for punishment, because for you to still think that you're America's team and have that bar so high every year and fail for the last 26 years, it really shows how much of a glutton for punishment you really are. And what Dallas fans don't really understand, besides the fact that everybody knows that they're the most obnoxious, arrogant, flashy, and shit-talking fans, is they don't understand that when you've put yourself on a pedestal like that, and when you're in this constant spotlight and you bring this attention to yourself, you're basically setting yourself up for embarrassment when you fail. So for the last 26 years, Dallas has been a failure because they've set the bar so high as being America's team and having championship aspirations, thinking that they're a contender every single year, and talking this much shit like they are the shit, that when they fail, they're embarrassed. They get embarrassed. They get laughed at, right? Now, one of the other aspects about Dallas fans is, they don't realize that they have put themselves in a situation where they are funneling a machine that is robbing them. Jerry Jones is absolutely robbing the Dallas fans. They might be the most robbed fans in the whole league. This is another reason why they're the worst, because they are so oblivious and delusional that they don't realize that Jerry Jones has been robbing them for 26 years. He's been using the glory years of old to justify his incompetence for the last 26 years. You're talking 26 years of incompetence. Washington fans that were frying Daniel Snyder for his incompetence. What is the difference between what he's done and what Jerry Jones has done? There's a lot of similarities there. Jerry even has sex scandals that he's been able to brush under the rug. He's had a lot of similar things. He's had some racial issues with his team. And there are so many black Dallas fans, it's ridiculous, right? He's been able to use the veil of the Cowboys, America's team, glory years to cover up all these different things. I've seen Cowboy fans give passes to players like Zeke and defensive guys who sexually assaulted women. I've seen female Dallas fans who don't give two shits about when a player abuses a woman. They just want that person to show up as soon as they get a sack. If that sexual assaulter gets a sack on Sunday, they will applaud him to the 5th degree. If Zeke runs a touchdown after he done pulled a woman's boobs out on national TV, long as he scores that touchdown, helps them win, they love them some Zeke. It is mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. You have to give them credit to a degree that they keep dealing with this matrix of mediocrity and keep being this glutton for punishment and keep being this failure, and they keep showing up for more and more abuse, for more and more laughter, for more and more embarrassment, but what you realize is they're just delusional. They're so obnoxious, they're so arrogant that they don't realize that how many people are laughing at them. They don't realize how embarrassing this is. They don't realize how they are not in the realm of the Yankees and the Lakers and some of these great organizations out here. Why you think Pittsburgh gets so much more respect than them? Right? Because Pittsburgh has done it in every era, right? People would try to say the Patriots are the most hated, but no, it's still not comparable, because guess what? The Patriots have 7 Super Bowls, and the Dallas fans, they will always say, oh, they will always go back to their dusty ass Super Bowls and say, oh, we got 5. Nobody remembers y'all's 5. This is the new millennium. Y'all haven't done anything in the new millennium. If you got to go all the way back to the mid 90s for some success, then you might as well be somebody like the Raiders. You might as well be somebody like the who won Super Bowls back then? The Rams. Remember the greatest show on turf? How long ago? That was at least 2000. They were winning Super Bowls 1999, 2000. They were at least in the new millennium. But Dallas, they haven't shown us anything since 1990s. And it's pretty sad. You know, one of the reasons that I make videos like this, or that I had these conversations, is to try to help Dallas fans. They've been so embarrassing that I try to help them get out of this matrix of mediocrity, this realm that they're in, this delusional realm they're in, because it keeps happening. You know, they're on the brink of insanity now. They're on the brink of insanity because, you know what the definition is: continuing to do the same thing and expecting different results. This is what Jerry Jones is doing every year. This is what Dallas fans do every year. They fall for the same shit every year. And I keep trying to tell them, if you lower your expectations, if you humble yourselves, after 26 years, you would think you would humble yourselves, right? That's what Washington did. Washington was losing, but see, that's the difference. That's the dynamic. That's the part of the matrix that they're in. See, Jerry Jones has the Cowboy fans in this place where they're getting just enough success to where they think they're a contender. They think that they're close. Jerry Jones even feels this way. They think that they're close. And every year they fall on their face. They hype themselves up. They have this media hype train. They keep telling everybody that they are America's team. So everybody looks at them to make them contenders. And then when they find out that they are not close to being a contender, they become an embarrassment immediately. Now, we just saw what happened where they just got smacked in the face by a real contender, the San Francisco 49ers, right? Now, this happens every year. You know, this one seemed a little bit different, though. For many years, you know, I worked in the barbershop and things. We used to do the barbershop shit talking and everything. And for many years, I tried to tell Dallas fans, humble yourselves. Lower your bar, lower your expectations. You're not a contender. You're not as good as you think you are. You're not America's team. And they just want to call me a hater, call me a naysayer, right? But I'm like, no, if you had to listen to me, I was really trying to help you. You know, you got to figure, I was doing barbershop talk. That was 20 years ago. How much heartbreak has Dallas had? How much failure have they had to deal with in the last 20 years? So I was not just being a hater. I was actually trying to help y'all from y'all's own selves, from y'all's own misery. But no, you're so obnoxious. You're so arrogant. You don't want to listen to reason. And now you're in a place where, once again, you think you're a contender, and you found out the hard way playing 49ers the other night that you're not as good as you think you are. I'm hoping that this was a wake-up call for y'all. I hope it was that Cowboy wake-up call, because you've already been knocked out of the playoffs twice in a row by these same 49ers. And now they're looking even better than they were when they knocked you out of the playoffs. Now they have Brock Purdy. Now let's talk about Brock Purdy for a minute, because what happened the other night it was hilarious. But once again, it was so embarrassing for Dallas. You have Dak Prescott, who's been paid the big bag. Now, all the people who don't like Dallas, we were applauding when Jerry gave him that money. Just like we were applauding when Jerry paid Romo. We knew Romo wasn't going to get a Super Bowl. Only obnoxious Dallas fans and arrogant Dallas fans, they were the only ones that that thought Romo would get a Super Bowl. Now they think Dak is a Super Bowl quarterback. And they keep getting smacked in the face back to reality. Now, he just went up against Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the NFL draft. He comes to a contender and does what a quarterback is supposed to do on a contending team. Dak looked like Mr. Irrelevant that night. He looked like the last pick of the draft. Brock Purdy looked like he was drafted where Dak was and looked like he should be getting the money that Dak is getting, right? Now, they say Brock Purdy is a system quarterback, but it doesn't matter. When you're on national TV and it's a primetime game and you're playing the Dallas Cowboys, he showed improving. He's been showing improving. Now, Dak got outplayed by a last pick of the draft who's Mr. Irrelevant. He got outplayed by this man, and he hasn't even played a full season under his belt yet. And Dak has been in the league how many years? It's total embarrassment. And then what does Jerry Jones come out and do? He comes and doubles down and backs Dak again. He has to. He just paid him that big bag. But then he got Trey Lance looking over his shoulder, and and Jerry probably thinks he's the guy too. Go ahead and give him some money, and you'll go another 26 years. The amazing thing about it is when you run around here and say you're America's team, and you say, how about them Cowboys when you beat the Jets or when you beat the Cardinals or somebody, right? You don't realize you're using a quote from 1996 from the person who gave you your last success and glory, Jimmy Johnson. Well, you're using his quote, but you don't have him. That's the difference. So you're still stuck in Jimmy Johnson days. You're still stuck in the glory days, right? Not realizing that this is a new era. This is a new time. Back then, you could keep teams together for longer. This is the free agent era. You know, y'all had it good when it was a different type of NFL, a different type of league, right? And Jerry has been chasing the ghost of Jimmy Johnson for 26 years. And he still won't put that man in the Ring of Honor, right? And it almost seems like Jimmy has a curse on y'all. You might as well start calling this the Jimmy Johnson curse. Y'all don't realize y'all are cursed by the very man that gave you your last success. Your obnoxiousness is what's covering all of this mediocrity. That's how arrogant Dallas is. You know, it could be they're using this to hide their pain. But no, I think they're just that obnoxious. Now, let me explain to you what Dallas really is. They are such an embarrassment. Let me tell you who they are. There was a movie back in the 90s called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, right? That's probably before a lot of y'all's time. But if you get a chance, go and check the movie out. It's one of the funniest movies you'll ever see, right? So one of the scenes in the movie, there's this guy, he was a pimp, and he had been locked up for, 20 years or whatever, right? He was a 70s pimp, and here he is getting out of jail in the 90s, right? So they giving him all his gear, all his clothes that he wore as a pimp from the 70s. He comes out, he's got all this pimp gear on, he got the hat, he got everything. He got these platform shoes on that have goldfish in their glass platform shoes, and they have goldfish in them, right? So he's scrolling down the street and he's stunned. He's shitting on them, right? And he got the pimp swag and everything. And the people are falling out of their chairs, laughing their asses off at him. And he's looking around like, who they laughing at? Why they laughing at me? He has no idea, right? Next thing you know, one of his shoes breaks, the glass breaks, and the fish is flopping on the ground. Now he's limping, trying to get off the street. They're laughing even harder, falling out the chairs. He got to cut through the alley and get out of there because of all the embarrassment. And that was a severe wake-up call for him. This is Dallas right now. The Dallas fans, they are those people who were popping back in the day. They were the shit back in the day. You couldn't tell them nothing. They had the swag. They had the flash. They had the platform shoes on. It was so long time ago. And now they're in the new millennium and they still think they're the shit. And they're wondering why everybody's laughing at them. People are falling out of their chairs laughing at their very misery. All they have to do is lose one game and everybody's laughing at them. And they wonder where all the hate comes from. I listen to people that say, why is everybody focused on Dallas and not their own team? Are you kidding me? Because y'all are so-called America's team. And it's false. Y'all are America's most hated team. And that was the reality check that y'all got and that y'all will keep getting until you start lowering your standards, lowering your bar, and learn how to be an overachiever instead of an underachiever for another 26 years. So that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, we'll check y'all when we're talking about Dallas losing to the San Diego Chargers. Until then, if you want to take your life to the next level, you want to fire your boss and take control of your life again, check out some of the links below in the description, and I'll talk to y'all next time. I'll holla.